Steve Best, top of the morning to you.
Good morning, people. How's it going over there?
It is going great. We saw where just a little while ago the U.S. got another gold, so that's a good thing. It's coming up. But you also are celebrating. You've got something to celebrate in rowing, correct?
Yes, Britain have finally got our first gold medal after a 5-day wait. Helen and Heather Stanning, they just basically blasted the field to pieces and led from the start. And yeah, they were highly emotional, as was pretty much everyone in the country. And we're off the mark with the gold. And a couple of minutes later, actually, our men's rowing 8 got a bronze medal. So it's been a pretty good day for so far.
Rowing, is that one of those sports you guys were expected to do pretty well in?
To be honest, we have some good ones, but the great thing about Heather Stanning, one of the women's pair, she's actually in the army, and she's due to go to Helmand province in Afghanistan in a few months' time. As soon as the Olympics is over, she's going into training in the army. She's a captain, and then she's off to Afghanistan for a tour of duty in just a few months' time.
Huh, that's amazing. We'll see if she brings the gold with her to be something to deflect all the other stuff she'll be receiving there. So that's a great encouragement there for sure. What else is going on we need to know about?
Well, I can tell you something that's happened in the last minute, which you might be interested to hear about. There's a cycling time trials going on. I'm just watching it out of the corner of my eye. And one of the Spanish riders just started, and his chain came off immediately. So he had to have a spare bike and lost about half a minute. So I just hope yours doesn't get off to as bad a start as his. But there is a big story brewing actually here. You may have heard it, I don't know. But a bunch of badminton players have been kicked out of the Olympics over match throwing allegations. Have you heard about that?
Well, I heard something about that, but elaborate. What is it the allegations surround?
Yeah, here's what happened. They had their group matches in the badminton. They do a tournament, and because there were 4 pairs actually, all women, because they wanted to get an easier draw in the next round, they decided to deliberately lose their games. But unfortunately, they didn't make a very good job of it, and it was pretty obvious to the crowd because they kept deliberately hitting the ball in the net. The crowd knew exactly what was going on, and they just started booing. And now these were pairs from China and South Korea, and they've all been chucked out, which might be good news for some of the other ones who've been defeated. But they've been disqualified for not trying to win.
Has that ever been done before, to your knowledge?
I've not ever heard of that, no. I mean, the trouble is badminton does seem to have been tainted with this before in other competitions, but never in the Olympics. But the Olympic oath is very clear about always trying your best, and so they had to be thrown out, otherwise it would have made a mockery of the sport. Yeah,
I suppose if there was any question about it, they probably wouldn't have leveled that charge. It must have been quite obvious, though, from what you saw.
It was. The officials said it was. The crowd could clearly see what was going on, and they're pretty knowledgeable because badminton's a very popular game in this country, so they knew what was going on. And yeah, the players had to go. So 8 of them have been kicked out, which is a big story here. But you know, that's just the way it is. You play to win in sports.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you. Let's go back to the gold medal you guys just got. Now, had the expectations been that you would be higher up at this point with the level of golds and silvers and bronze than you are?
That's a good question. I think there was a hope. I mean, the thing is, we know that our athletes do the best they can, and we keep hearing this. When people are just missing out on medals, they say, well, I did my best. There's been a lot of lottery money being thrown into it in this country to try and bring more success, but it's still pretty early days. I think you can look forward to more rowing medals for Britain. I think athletics is going to see quite a bit. We've got Bradley Wiggins, that's going as we speak in the cycling time trial, so he's got a good chance. But I think there had been a little bit of disappointment, but the gold has lifted everybody, and it'll probably lift the team too. Yeah,
and that cycling incident where a chain falls off the bike, I don't think I've ever seen that happen in the Olympics. I mean, how can you not have everything so accurately adjusted so that wouldn't happen?
And he was on the ramp at the start, and literally as he went to start, it came off. And so he went about 10 feet, put the bike down, and they brought him another one. But it's an embarrassing way to start, but he wasn't one of the fancy to win. Bradley Wiggins is off in about 10 minutes' time, and he's thought to be a good chance of a gold medal.
Yeah, well, I would think that would be something that, if that were to happen, I can't imagine what would be going through your mind. It would be the ultimate in something you wouldn't expect. You'd think I'll get a bad start off or whatever, but you wouldn't think of a bicycle incident like that. So, well, that'll be interesting else. Well, Steve, thanks very much. Appreciate the preview on all of that stuff coming up. What sport are you going to be watching today? What are you going to focus on?
There's quite a bit happening tonight. There's more fencing, there's volleyball, tennis. I'll be watching the swimming, and there are some men's soccer games. England's ladies, or Britain's ladies, last night played in front of 70,000 people at Wembley Stadium. They beat Brazil. That's the second highest crowd ever for a ladies' Olympic soccer match. The men play tonight, but Britain aren't in action. But swimming is on, and we're very excited. There are some real chances for some medals, both for the United States and for Britain, I think, tonight in the swimming.
Yeah, I know we're looking forward to that too. So, all right, we'll be watching what happens with the British team there too. Steve, thanks again for checking in with us on that, and we'll do that again tomorrow.
All right, you have a good day.
All right, thanks very much. Steve Best, our British guy who likes the Olympics.